here with us. We're fortunate to have them. We also have Renee Flowers from the University of Lynchburg Office of Advancement. Thank you, Renee, for being here. Thank you for everyone who's here tonight. And without further ado, I actually would like to welcome Joanne to the podium and mic. So please welcome Joanne Wardkoff.
I am the sum of my experiences, joys, doubts, failures, and successes. I'm a canister of hope, a pillar of strength, and a sensitive voice etched in shyness that seeks out truth and justice. I'm a poet and a photographer. Sand, Pebbles, Fossils, and Rocks is my poetry book, nominated for the Library of Review's 2019 Literary Award in Poetry. Camera Eyes on Poetry is based upon this book. I believe the power of writing down a word is multiplied by the number of words in a line, by the lines in a stanza, by the number of stanzas in a poem. Words are the most powerful tool we have in society. Words shape reality. They define and announce everything by name. We crush them so finely that we create new ones in a microsecond. Language traverses the schism between emotion and thought. Most of my poems start with an image. Iris dancing is such an example. This short love poem is about Tara, my daughter, who on 9/11 walked to Ground Zero daily for 4 days to volunteer. In May of 2002, I brought her to Giverny, France, where Iris dancing was born. The poem's origin is based on an image of a flower lying upon a windowsill in Monet's garden. And that's the picture back there with all the irises. Santorini Dreaming is an example, that's over there, the second one. It's an example of using an idea to write a poem. My concept of this poem was to follow the sequence of light during one day on Santorini, dawn to nightfall. Interspersed are Greek gods and Greek goddesses interacting to draw a picture of how magical the Aegean Islands are. To perfect this poem took 3 years. My poems originate from journal writings or simply from a metaphor or simile that pops up in my mind. I often write on my iPhone as it's convenient. I let my first draft sit for a week before rereading. This gives me objectivity to the quality of the poem. I save original drafts because they bring me back to the essence of my concept. Poems do change and do more. A very few are perfect in their first writing. Some end up totally different. It's an absorbing journey with each poem. Writing for me is calming and a necessity. As a poet, I handpick my words. To me, words are like cellophanes. I see into them and through them. They energize me. They crinkle. They are the tools of my trade. Words can change the world. I began writing as a child in Charny, France, as we had no TV, but rather listened to radio shows, often nightly, of Westerns predominantly. I learned the beauty of words by carefully listening to these stories. Later, I wrote my own one-page versions. Coincidentally, I started taking pictures around the same time with my father, an avid photographer. Every photograph is an archive of a single moment in time. I am rarely without a camera. The camera takes the picture, but it's the photographer who creates the image as a work of art. I take multiple shots very quickly at different settings, different angles, with 2 cameras, switching back and forth between the 2. Interestingly to me, it is my first or my last photo that I find is best. My most difficult photo to ever take was Camera Eyes, which is directly the first picture that you see when you come in. It is the the show. I was kayaking down canals on an open fishing kayak with 2 cameras slung around my neck when I turned around to go back under the bridge, and I saw what typifies what I love most about Ocracoke, the magical beauty that you see in this photograph. Another Ocracoke picture is on the quarter deck. It's a sailboat that aligns perfectly in the orb of the sunset and portrays the zen-like quality of the 2 boys, one extending his arm to the other. This is the next photograph that I like. It's Bishop's Hotel. It was taken in Lynchburg, probably in 1972. Maybe it was Linda. And it's a mesmerizing picture as it travels from the car window to the puddle and finally onto the building's windows. Each photograph speaks to me like it is a refraction of the poem it stands beside. Today, photography and words are an instantaneous form of communication that we use regularly on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, to name a few. In our fast-paced world, we have to wonder which will win out, words or images. Language is always morphing as we speak. Poetry and photography act like an umbilical cord to connect each of us in art. We assimilate images much easier than we do the written word. Most of my life, I have expressed myself through these 2 mediums. They simply are who I am. This exhibit is reflective of our 21st century relationship between poetry and photography. I will recite 3 poems that are not in the book and not in the show. The first poem was written on our 45th wedding anniversary at the Hay Adams Hotel in Washington, D.C. From our balcony, we had a bird's eye view of the White House and surrounding area. We are lucky to be Americans. On the lawn behind the White House, Mexican-American girls hula hoop. Women in saris and flip-flops scurry by. D.C. lawyers jog beside their dogs. Tourists whiz by on electric scooters. Barefoot children play ball. Veterans in wheelchairs on the lawn behind the White House. A lone radical decries our president. Indian drums punctuate. USA, USA, USA. A black man holds up a red sign. Build the wall. Baby carriages abound. Our flag bellows in the wind, bragging freedom's unfurled. Bells chime mass at St. John's. Random cars honk on 16th Street. Democracy is alive in its people. The Washington Monument, like a phoenix, pervades a country built of immigrants. All blood runs red on the lawn behind the White House. The second piece is science fiction, which really isn't a common subject in poetry, but I happen to like science fiction. So here it is. I began writing it this summer. It's about 10 pages so far. It's not finished, and this is just an excerpt. Inside the dead zone, the smoke was thick. We all had to exit now. No helicopter rescues. We knew we had to go without goodbyes, because most had left some time ago to avoid the scalding faces, eroding flesh, as hot ash fell upon us. The sky afire and had been for 10 months now. We hid as best we could, underground in objects, beneath ceilings or corridors, in bunkers, in tunnels, in cold, wet, mushy, muddy patches, packing dirt onto our skin like a mask to insulate from the scalding, burning fires. A week ago, through hoses miles long, linked to tunnels of pockets of precious oxygen spewing life to those surviving, like embryos to plankton of chlorophyll sustaining the last few remaining alive, living underground. I sucked the air, drank the moisture from shreds of leaves found in dirt, flaccid from dehydration, barely sufficient to live. So the third one is a short poem that I wrote on January the 2nd of this year, based on two similes that I had written down about a month ago that emerged into this fine poem. This poem was perfect in its first writing, as was Iris dancing. It is a real childhood memory. The sun flickering orange poppy, hanging like a parasol. A petal dazzling in sunbeams flew quickly across my face, like it had once when I was 5. On board the U.S. Navy ship General William O. Darby, destined for Le Havre. The soldiers, sailors, and kids were always playing jacks on deck, but that day our ship plummeted from a giant wave, and then my tiny red ball rolled right off the side. I learned at that moment to always listen to my dad. I never told him where my ball went, but since, when my eyelashes stuck together like glue, I've always understood why it's difficult for birds to fly in heavy winds. Something he already knew. So, I hope you connect the dots and synthesize my vision of our world. Please take time to read my poems and to look at the photography with your own camera eyes, to connect them as intended as a couplet. I would like to thank Flanagan's Camera of Warrenton, Cindy, Lauren, and Whitney for their expertise in photography. Richard and Lou of Frame Masters in Fairfax for perfection in framing. A very special thanks to you, Renee. Flowers from the Office of the Advancement of Lynchburg, the University of Lynchburg. Renee is just an amazing person, and I'm just happy to call her my friend. I'd also like to thank the Lynchburg Alumni Association for unwavering support 45 years after graduation. And Mark of Staples for printing my poems perfectly. 18 months ago, I came to Jordan, the director, asking for a gallery show based on my photography in my newly published book. I gambled and brought the book with me because it had 60 images. And Jordan retorted, after looking at it very carefully, why not duplicate your book, using your poetry and photography in the show? It was brilliant. I know of only one other show like this in the world. A special thanks to Tara for being the editor of my book and soliciting Adam Robinson to work with us weekly for 7 months. Without your impetus, Tara, to help me publish, I wouldn't be here today. Finally, I would like to thank all of you. Oh, I forgot one. I would also thank Lou, Leisha, and Sierra for their insights, assistance, and support. Finally, I would like to thank all of you who came out tonight in such bad weather for your many years of friendship, and remind all of you to follow your dreams, because I'm living proof that you can achieve your dream at any age with a little inspiration, persistence, support, and a sprinkle of courage. Thank you all.